I.S.U.P.K.
So tell me, how can I turn the other cheek while this wicked world trying to smother me? Something gotta shake, I'm gonna cry it out. Time to gird up my loins and ride out. In my soul I feel devastation. In my eyes I see desolation. On my door, death is waiting. But I don't want to see no more desolation.
There's going to come a time where righteous black, Latino, and First Nation men are going to rule this earth under Christ, man. That's the thing with our people. You should want that. You should strive for that. The scriptures say when the righteous bear rule, man, the people rejoice. The entire earth is going to rejoice when righteous black, Latino, and First Nation men rule the earth, man. And the people mourn when the wicked bear rule, man. Because the oppressor is the wicked. That's why World War III has to happen. Like, D, I know you're terrified. I know you are scared out your mind. You know what I mean? That Pooh Shiesty is going to war with the Ukraine. We got to stay out that business. And here's the thing, Malaki. Y'all been better than me. Y'all been nice. I've been waiting all day to say this. The ISUPK under Commander Gen.YAHANNA told you that World War III was about to pop off. We told you that the Third World War was getting ready to come out and pop off. But you looked at us like, oh, y'all just them crazy niggas on the corner. I understand, but look who's crazy now. Let me get Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14, man. The first woe is past and the second woe. World War I, World War II, World War III is coming quickly. Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. And it has to happen. Read what you got, Malaki.
Revelation chapter 11 verse 14. The second woe is past.
The second woe is past. The second woe was World War II. You know what's significant about World War II, Malaki, that blows my mind? World War II, when Hitler was going off, circumnavigating the entire earth, going to war with everybody. Put the so-called Jew, who's not a Jew, but the devil that the Bible speaks of, in them concentration camps, in them cages. And the entire earth came out to defend them. Right. Who's going to defend that Mexican man and woman? That Guatemalan man and woman? That Argentinian man and woman? That Cuban man and woman? That Puerto Rican man and woman? That black man and woman? The entire earth came out to defend the oppressor and his children during World War II. But who stands up for the real children of God? And then in 1945, they put them in our land. The so-called Jew that calls himself a Jew is not a Jew. They got placed over there in that land because the oppressors over here felt sorry for them. And they went over there and caused all type of turmoil because the Arabs over there don't respect them and they know that the real Jews are black. One of them Arabs over there in Egypt, some prince said that the Jews left black and came back white. Like, where did they do that at? When did that happen? How did that happen? Here's the secret. The real Jews are blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women. And we're in slavery in America right now. Black man and woman, you're a real Jew. Latino man and woman, you're a real Jew. That's why World War III has to kick off, Malaki.
Right.
Read on.
Revelations 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
The third woe cometh quickly. The third war's war is coming quickly. Like, it's right around the corner. And black man and woman, do not be afraid of World War III. Latino man and woman, do not be afraid of thermonuclear warfare, man, if you sinning. If you sinning, guess what? You need to be afraid. If you're not doing what the Lord said to do, I would be very terrified. Meaning this, if you're not in the ISUPK and the Commander Gen.YAHANNA, you need to be terrified of what's getting ready to come. That's why we have to get ourselves together, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman, because the Lord said that he was going to send all of these things. As a matter of fact, let me get that. Let me get 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 5, Baba Kushal. Because here's the thing, black man, Latino man and woman, we are in the last days of time. These are the days that our King, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, that the earth ignorantly knows as Jesus Christ, prophesied about. Christ talked about these times that we are in right now, man. Black man, Latino man and woman. That's why it's time to get your life together. Why do you think that the coronavirus is here? The coronavirus didn't come from some laboratory that some white man made up. Come on, Barzo. We give the oppressor too much credit and authority. It didn't come from no laboratory. It didn't come from them 5G towers that you niggas was getting high talking about. I heard you. We was out here. Understand this, these plagues that are hitting the earth right now, God is sending them, man.
Right.
God sent angels, man, to open up these bowels and to send these plagues on this earth. And not just plagues, war and the sword. Read what you got.
2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world.
God said that he would bring plagues upon the world. God is bringing plagues upon the world, man. Upon the age and society of the oppressor. You know why everybody's wearing a mask and complaining and moaning Malakia about the conditions in their economy and what the coronavirus did? Because God sent that virus, man, to destroy the oppressor's economy.
Right.
God is the one, man, that sent the coronavirus, that COVID-19, that your pastor did not have an answer for. Your imam did not have an answer for. That's why they closed their doors in that church. Your church was closed too. During the coronavirus, y'all churches was closed. But the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander GEN.YAHANNA, we were open. Right. And we are still open, man. Because the truth, you know what I mean, about this Bible and about, you know what I mean, who the real Israelites are, we are bringing it out, man. We've been bringing it out since 1969. The Lord is the one that sent the COVID-19. The Lord said that he would send plagues upon the earth. And not just plagues, famine. There's food shortages, man. I work in the food industry in these departments, man. Guess what? You can't find truck drivers to get on these roads, man. Right. Them markets, man, and them shelves is getting emptier by the day. And these are things that our King prophesied about, man. Our God told us that he was going to do these things. Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Now is the time to stop wasting time. Right. You are wasting time getting high. You're wasting time doing every evil and wicked thing that your white daddy tell you to, man. When you need to do what our God said so, man. Right. Is that so hard? Is that so difficult? Everybody claims that they down with God, that I'm down with Christ. The Lord watches over me, but you don't want to do what God said to do. You don't want to do what Christ said to do. Like Malachi, is it that hard giving up pork? Is it that hard giving up shrimp? Is it that hard to stop smoking weed and stop being a goddamn whore and a whoremonger, man? Is it that hard? Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman? Is it that hard? Like Malachi, what you was going into earlier is so heavy, y'all. Our sisters don't want to submit to a brother no more. And God said, man, that Christ was the head of man. Man is the head of woman, and the head of Christ is God. Like when you go against that black man, black woman, you going against your God. Right. You going against your head, man. Right. That's why we got to understand as blacks and Latinos and First Nation men and women, we got to understand that's why these things is happening. Right. And these signs that's going on right now is a sign for us to get our life together. So many of y'all want to talk about grace. Oh, we have grace, baby. I understand. You know what real grace is? Getting your life together in that time. So you won't die in the day of the Lord, because it will be a dreadful day. Now is the day to start keeping them laws, statutes, and commandments if you are black, Latino, or First Nation man and woman. Right. I pray you understand. Let's read on. That's right.
2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world.
The Lord said he was going to bring plagues upon the world, man. The coronavirus, the COVID-19. It ain't even COVID no more, Malaki. It's Omicron now. Right. It had turned into a goddamn Decepticon. They got new variants, man. Now, understand this. God is the one that sent it. Right. It ain't just come out of thin air. The white man ain't just get it from some animal, you know what I mean, like they saying. The Lord sent it down, man. Sent it over there to Wuhan province in China first. Because them filthy Chinese eat every goddamn thing that they can catch, Malaki. Right. They eat something called a pangolin. I had to Google that up. They eat pangolin bars, oh. They are filthy, disgusting people, man. And God is the one that sent this virus down and these plagues. Read on.
The sword.
The what?
The sword.
The sword, meaning war and death. God is the one that sent the sword, man. You wondering why the Ukraine and Russia going at it? Why do you think Putin, a.k.a. Pooh Shiesty, is going at the Ukraine the way he is, man? I'm going to tell you why, because God hardened Putin's heart. God hardened Putin's heart. And now, guess what? Hardened his mind. And now Putin is like, man, I'm about to go take back what's mine. Because all that was Russia. All that was the Soviet Union, man. And we've been bringing that out since 1969. That Gog and Magog, man, it's going to come back. Read on.
famine, death, and destruction.
Famine, death, and destruction. I talked about the food shortages. What about them gas prices, Malakia? Goddamn.
Right.
Them gas prices is high. I seen y'all get out y'all vehicles and start walking. I saw one brother pull a skateboard out of his, back of his truck and start rolling on. These famines are coming because God is sending these famines and these food shortages and death. You know why we're dying, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman? Because we're not doing what the God of Israel said, that the God of blacks and Latinos and First Nation men and women said to do. That's why we got to do what our God said to do. Let me get 2 Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 14. This is what we must do as the Lord's chosen people, man. The problem is you are too prideful, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. You have to realize that this is that time. This is that period that we have to get ourselves together. Y'all want to talk about grace, you know what I mean? And oh, I'm covered by the grace of Christ, baby. I'm good. No, you're not, black man, Latino man and woman. You're not going to be good until you stop being a whore. Until you stop being a whoremonger. That you stop being a drunkard. That you stop being, you know what I mean, a murderer. Stop aborting our babies. This is what we must do as the Lord's chosen people. You got what I asked for? Read.
2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. If my people.
Stop right there. The Lord said, if my people, Malachi, he ain't say all people. The Lord said, if my people. Who are God's people? I thought everybody was God's people, according to your pastor, according to your email. No, God's people are the children of Israel. The blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women. We are God's chosen people. And he said, if my people, not all people, but if my people, read on,
which are called by my name.
We are called by the Lord's name, Yasha Allah. If you are a black man or a Latino man or a First Nation man, Yasha Allah means Prince of the Power. That is your nationality. You ain't African American, you're not Puerto Rican, you're not Cuban, you're not Brazilian, you're not Mexican, you're not El Salvadorian or Panamanian. You are a Prince of the Power, and if you a sister, a Princess of the Power, black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman. Why the Lord said, if my people, which are called by my name. He ain't called everybody to be called by his name. Right. We all have children, right? We have kids. If you tell your children, don't go outside and play with them knuckleheads in the corner, and they do it, do you punish every child out there, or do you punish your kids? You know why you punish your kids? Because they're yours. Right. They're special to you. We are God's children, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. And right now we're being punished because we want to be free, white, and 21. We want to be stiff-necked and do what our white daddy tell us to. Now is the time, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman, to do what God said to do. That's why he said, if my people, which are called by my name, read on,
shall humble themselves.
Humble yourself, black man, Latino man and woman. A lot of you got so much pride being in that Christian church. You got so much pride being in that Christian church, thinking you know the Bible, thinking you understand it. When you don't understand the Bible. When I know you don't understand the Bible? Because I watch my brothers all day at camp break down scriptures that you've never heard before. But your pastor is a man of God. Your pastor knows the Bible. No, he doesn't. You know what your pastor knows how to do? Your pastor knows how to sniff cocaine. Right. Your pastor knows how to be a sexual deviant. Listen, your pastor is he got a PhD, you know what I mean, in pedophilia. He knows how to be a goddamn pedophile, Malakia, but he doesn't know the Bible. Contrary to your Christian belief, right? You don't have to go to UCLA. You don't got to go to Temple. You don't got to go to LaSalle to learn the Bible. If you are black, Latino, and First Nation men and women, come into the I.S.U.P.K. under Command of General Yohanna, man. Right. If you're a brother, come and put on your all black and become a trooper, man. And become a trooper. And strive to become an officer, man. We are the prophets of God, man. You don't got to go and get your PhD. You don't got to go and get it. Not saying you don't got to go to college. Go and get those degrees. But understand this. You don't got to go get that PhD in theology to understand the Bible. Right. Because your pastor has a PhD and a master's in theology, and he don't know that the Jews are black, and that's in the Bible. Right. He still thinks in his Christian mind that God loves everybody, is talking to everybody. But in 2 Chronicles 7 and verse 14, he said that my people, meaning his people, blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women, goes to show you they don't understand the Bible and they don't know it. You gotta humble yourself, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. You don't know everything, and that's fine. That's why the scriptures say, man, that you have to come and learn again and be weaned on milk. You wouldn't give a baby a T-bone steak to eat, would you? You want to know why? Because they can't eat that right now. Well, guess what? There are things you can't comprehend right now that are in the Bible. That's why you have to come and learn from the real priest of the Lord, man, which are in the ISUPK under Command of General Yohanna. Read on.
And pray.
And what?
And pray.
The Lord said, man, that you have to pray. The prayer you doing right now, the Lord ain't hearing, because the Lord said, he that turneth his way, turneth his ear from hearing the law, his prayer shall be an abomination unto me. In John the 9th chapter, I believe in the 31st verse, it says, you know what I mean, my Father heareth not sinners. Meaning God is not hearing the prayers of sinners, man. Meaning, yeah, what is sin? Sin is transgression of God's law, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. That's 1 John 3 and 4. A lot of you talking about, oh, you're a sinner. You're sinning when you're sinning. You don't even understand what sin is. Sin is transgressing God's laws, statutes, and commandments that he gave us. You gotta pray, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. You gotta do what God said to do and pray. Read on.
And seek my face. And turn from their wicked ways.
And turn from their what?
Their wicked ways.
We gotta turn from our wicked ways, man. In America, they tell us it's okay to be a homosexual. Like if I could, Malakia, we have kids, right? In America, they tell us that it's all right for Dwayne Wade's son to become a girl and to date a little white boy that thinks he's a girl. That's acceptable in American society, when that is unacceptable and an abomination unto God, man. That's an abomination unto God, man. And that's the problem with our people. We think we know better than the Lord, man. We think we know more than God. And that's a lie, man. That's why we got to pray and seek the Lord's face and turn from our wicked ways. We got to turn from being sexual deviants and homosexuals, man, as blacks and Latinos. We got to stop being whores and whoremongers. We got to stop smoking, you know what I mean, and stop selling drugs, man. We got to stop murdering each other and murdering our babies by aborting them. We have to turn from our wicked ways, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Read Revelation 18 and verse 4. As blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women, if you continue to go down this path, if you continue to stay in the Christian church, mourning for the Ukraine, mourning for every oppressor and every heathen, man, every African. I see what y'all do. Talking about, oh, we got to send our money to Africa. We got to send our money to some dying child in the Tanzania. What about our dying children on the border of Mexico, man? Our Mexican brothers and sisters, man. What about that black man and woman in the ghetto and the barrio? What about our people, man? We got to stop having sympathy for the Ukrainians, for the oppressor, for the African and the Asian, have sympathy for one another, man. That's why the Lord told us this, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Read what you got.
Revelation chapter 18 verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
The Lord said, come out of her, all people.
My people.
The oppressor.
My people.
God said, come out of her, my people. We are God's chosen people. And the her is Babylon. The her is America.
Right.
America is spiritually Egypt and Sodom, man. Babylon, the great whore, man. That is America. And God is telling blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women to come out of her. When the Lord says come out of America, he's not saying get on a boat and go to Egypt and go to Zimbabwe. No. The Lord is saying take your mind out of America. Meaning don't celebrate Easter. Don't celebrate your birthday. Don't celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving. Don't celebrate Mother's Day. You don't got to celebrate these holidays, man. You got to do what the Lord said to do, man. All of these holidays that the oppressor tells us to do, man, we got to say the damn with that, man. Who the hell is the oppressor, the white man, to tell me I got to love my mother on this day? No, you can love your mother and give her a gift any other day. And like Malachi and Kabbalah was saying, a lot of y'all mothers don't deserve a gift, for real, for real. You do not. You do not. Following after your white daddy, the oppressor, the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. You've been evil, you know what I mean, to your children and that black man and Latino man and First Nation man. That's why God said to come out of her, my people. Read on.
That ye be not partakers of her sin.
You don't want to be a homosexual in that day.
Right.
You don't want to be a murderer in that day. You don't want to be a thief in that day. You don't want to be caught celebrating Easter or Thanksgiving or Christmas or your birthday on that day. Don't be a partaker of America's sins. And there is a long laundry list of that. We be here all night. Read on.
Okay. And that ye receive not of her plagues.
Some of those plagues is the coronavirus, that COVID-19, and there are more to come.
Right.
There are more plagues to come. You do not want to receive of these plagues, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. If I could, one more. Zephaniah 2 verse 1. Understand this, man. This is what we have to do as God's chosen people. This is what we must do. The problem is we think we're going to find God in the Christian church or in the Muslim mosques. No, you're not. God is in the I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General Yohanna, man. And he's been here since 1969 when he sent his prophets back. And this is what all blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women need to understand and comprehend, man. As the Lord's chosen people, we have to come back together. And I'm going to get it for you in the scriptures. Because here in the I.S.U.P.K, we love one another, man. We love that black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman, man. And that's why it's essential for you to come out of that church, to come out of that mosque, to come out of whatever African spirituality that you're in right now. Guess what? You are a real Israelite, a real Jew of antiquity. We are God's chosen people, and God wants his people to do this. Read what you got.
Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
The Lord said, gather yourselves together, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Read.
Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
We are the nation that is not desired. Latinos are not desired. Blacks are not desired. The First Nation man is not desired. But God is telling us to gather ourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Because our God, Yahweh, desires blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women. Our King, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, desires blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women. And the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge desires all blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women to come into this truth, man, and change your life. And with that being said, we are the I.S.U.P.K. So out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohanna. We're only out here to teach blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women that we are the biblical Jews, that we are the Israelites, man. And you need to drop a donation in this goddamn bucket, man. You don't gotta be black or Latino or First Nation to drop a donation in this bucket. We the only black and Latino owned business on 12th and Market, man. You know why it's called Market Street? Because this was the slave markets where they would sell the First Nation man and woman, the black man and woman, and Latino man and woman. Drop a donation in this goddamn bucket. And with that, Kwam Yashala!
We want no cowards in our camp, holy man.